Hi, I'm Coach Hallis. Welcome to episode 13. This is week 2 of quarter 2, and we are now 2 weeks into the $10 challenge. So, we on our calendar here are past the project launch. Topics were due in last Friday. Almost all of them have been submitted now. Some kids are still between thoughts and ideas. Everybody has some idea of what they're doing. Thesis statements were due early this week. About half of them are in as of the end of this week, so there's some slow going there, mostly based on attendance. When students aren't here, they don't tend to progress as much as they should, so that's holding us back a bit. But our due dates are still on the calendar for when their first draft is due, which is next Tuesday, followed by writing conferences. And hopefully we'll be doing a lot of catching up that week. Some quick updates as to like what sort of things are happening, how students are keeping track of what they're doing, uh, and where they are. A number of topics have emerged from some different students. Some of these are from individuals. Some of them are consensus of different kids working either in groups or as individuals on the same sort of thing. But one student is donating his towards a program that gets Christmas trees to people who can't afford them. Um, a couple of students have expressed helping to support the local animal shelter. Some students have talked about doing things to feed or otherwise help the homeless population. And one student has come up with the idea of coming up with a safe space in the ladies' restroom where there'll be like toiletry items and other things, personal items that will be available to women in the ladies' restrooms. So we uh, we have a couple of different things that they're doing in order to keep track of these sort of things. I'm asking them to document in journals once a week. Additionally, they've been asked to get at least 3 pictures throughout their process. Here's one example of that. This young lady should be really proud of herself. She's had a great number of attendance issues, particularly in the first quarter. She's starting to improve her attendance, and she took a trip to the Hopewell Animal Shelter and got to meet the supervisor and spoke with her at length about what it is that they do there, and really seems motivated to help support the cause that they're doing. She learned about all the effort that they go to towards treating the animals well and getting them taken care of and getting them homes. And she's fired up to help support them. And she's looking at getting a jar to collect financial donations for them at her place of work. And also, that box behind me is one that she is going to turn into a collection place for donations to be accepted for things other than cash, like dog food and treats and other lists of things here at the school. So she is now she's already duct tape that on the inside and outside, and she's going to be painting and decorating it and writing up something to advertise that to collect donations for the local shelter here. She has gotten started on her first draft, which is, it's a work in progress here, but I'm looking in this first draft in this case for one well-developed paragraph. Their thesis statement should be in there, and then topic sentences for where else they plan on going. One of the challenges with this particular project is there's a lot more freedom in terms of which direction the students take their writing. So in first quarter, they were writing basically a persuasive essay in the form of an article trying to convince people to go to a certain place in a local business. That's rather formulaic compared to this, where I'm giving them the freedom to, if you want to persuade people that this is the best way to use $10 to help the community, you could. If you want to focus on entertaining people with a narrative of what you did with this money, you could do that. If you want to persuade people to support the cause that you supported, then you can lean into that. If you just want to inform people of something that exists that they might not have thought of before, you could lean in that direction. So they're this first draft is going to be tricky. They're still figuring out what it is that they're doing and figuring out what story they want to tell and how they want to tell it. So those are some of those things that are going to be changing as well. Some of them are having trouble thinking about this as a speech that they're going to be presenting having already done these things. So some of their first drafts are like in the present tense, and as they go through their drafts, they're going to have to change that. So as a teacher, when you're doing this kind of thing, you're managing a number of different things that are happening. It's all under the same umbrella, but because of the loose construction of the project, you have to be willing to go in those different directions that the kids take it, which can be very fun and interesting and exciting, but it also can become multiple different projects happening at the same time. Benefit of that is there's not a lot of bottlenecks of things, like not everybody needs to use the laser cutter at one time. Like if, that might be if it were a more physical project that everybody was working on. But of course, there are different challenges when you have several people working on different things. There's a lot of individual check-ins that are happening. So one other thing that helps me keep track of that is student spreadsheets for how they're spending their money. This group is up to they each had $10. It's 3 kids. They combined that. They've been selling snacks that they've been purchasing through a fundraiser. So they're kind of like double dipping on helping by supporting an FBLA fundraiser, and then they're selling those things on a markup, and they've nearly doubled their money. They're close to their $60. Their goal is to be in the 60 to 70 range, and they're almost there right now. That group, I have one member who's been at least one member who's been able to vlog with us, and his vlog will be included in this description as well. So if you want to hear more about his process, that's there. But having these spreadsheets where each kid is responsible for keeping track of what they spent, even if it's just a one-time donation, that should be in that spreadsheet. But if they're choosing to leverage their money, this is really helpful for seeing like how's that looking, where's that coming from, how close are they to whatever goal they set. So those are some different things: journals, spreadsheets, pictures, and then obviously their drafts and other things. And our first writing conference is next week. So the next time that I talk to you, I can let you know how that went. So